Haas with Haas Games and Cards, and I hope you're all doing awesome because you all deserve it. What do we got going on today? Well, just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been watching the videos lately. It's been a fun time. It's been a fun time. Thank you for the Instagram engagement, all that kind of stuff. It's really cool to interact with you guys and just talk about all the craziness that Pokemon is bringing to our table. um, so, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, if you could continue helping me grow, I'd appreciate it. Like, subscribe, do all those fun things, notification bells, all the bells and whistles. Would super appreciate that. Free to do. Not looking for all the money and stuff. Just want to keep on making stuff and keep growing. I just like growing. It's fun. It's work, but I like it. But back to what we're going to talk about. Of course, the crazy Prismatic Evolutions new set coming out from Pokemon. We kind of touched about it. We talked about the chaos that ensued with the Pokemon Center ETB promo. That was crazy. Literally within the span of an hour, it's like you could get 4 and get a sealed case, then 2, then none. All within one day. Whoa. So crazy. Never quite seen anything like it. But I'm also kind of fresher into this game. I mean, I came back at 151. That's when I made my LLC and made my Pokemon business, which is very small. It's nothing to super brag about. I'm trying to grow it and put a lot of hard work into it. So, it's yeah, I don't know. It just is what it is. We're trying, and we're gonna keep trying, and we're not gonna stop because since I'm doing it all online and don't have a store and that crazy overhead, I can just keep doing this stuff forever until we finally make it work. So I guess the topic I really want to talk about today is how hard is this set going to be? How hard is it going to be to find in a store, in your local game store? Are you going to get your orders? I think it's a good thing to talk about because Surging Sparks, to kind of backtrack, and we'll talk about content creators and their views on it too. It's very interesting. There's a couple different opinions. I have my own opinion, but that's what's great is we all have our own opinions, and in some ways we're all right, some ways we're not right, and it just depends how you look at it, depends how you want to slice it up. But at some point everyone has a little bit slice of the pie and is right in certain ways. So not saying anyone's right or wrong or saying that I know what's going to happen, but we have some indicators, right? We have 151 and how that acted when it came out, Surging Sparks and how that acted for pre-orders, and it's not even out yet. We're going to go over those. So how hard is this going to be to get? It kind of depends on what you're looking at and how you're going to do it, right? Is it going to be easy to get from your local card store? Is it going to be easy to just waltz in your local card store and get some stuff? And I guess in general, is it going to be hard to get the set in general? And we'll break it down from there too. Yes and no. Yes and no. It kind of depends. To backtrack, Surging Sparks was all over the place with orders. So when I did my orders with Surging Sparks, I got my allocations from my 2 main distributors I go through. They weren't super big. I'm like, it sucks. And so I have a third distributor that I do orders from, and they do things way different than, let's say, Southern Hobby or however else. And talking to him, and I'm like, man, I'd love to get like 20 cases. I'd love to do whatever. And he's like, yeah, you can get whatever you want. Nobody wants this set. And I'm like, have you not been watching? Like, have you not been paying attention to anything? Everybody wants this set. This is while pre-orders start to really kick off. And this distro specifically doesn't do pre-orders until oh man, so last second. So last second. You don't even know what they're going to do with you until pretty much the last week before the set comes out. And so I kept on being like, can I increase my order to this? Hey, I got more people that want to pre-order. Can I increase to that? And they just back up to you. Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. And then all of a sudden they're like, maybe we can't do that much. And it's like, oh man. So what ended up happening is to fulfill all my orders, I ended up taking the stuff that I bought for myself, because of course I had that into my customer or into the overall orders itself, and just gave it to the customers. I'm like, cool, I won't rip any of this. If I do, I'll go buy a case from some other shop, and that'll just be is what it is, because I can't get any more of it because that distro, it's all dried up. There's no more. There's no more. You can't order booster box cases from distro. They're out. They're gone. That's it. Now it's all in the wild. All in the wild and in the hands of who knows who. So, what happened with Surging Sparks, right? So Surging Sparks, obviously, and I think the direction Pokemon is going to be taking is, and 151 kind of shows this too, is I think they're going more towards big box stores. I think they're going to start making stuff more built for big box stores, because what is easier for me to get is ETBs, sleeve packs, all those different things. But booster boxes have always been something that's just rough to get as much as I want. And so why is that? Because they're hard to it's hard to display a booster box in a store, easy to steal, all that stuff. So that's why they've been ramping up their ETBs. That's why booster bundles came out, I'm pretty sure, because they're easy to display in a store. That's why sleeve packs are so easy, because all of your stores are pretty much becoming card shops. You have Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, all those, Target even. All those places are pretty much a card store. So I think they kind of build more inventory geared towards fulfilling those. And I'll be honest, I think they fulfill a lot of the physical stores a little bit less, unless you're a huge store. And if you're a big store, you're going to get what you want. I'm small. I'm all online, so I don't get what I want. I have to have multiple sources. I have to really fight for what I need, and I don't even come close to as much as I could sell. So that's a limiting factor, big limiting factor for sure. We're going to try to find some cool little workarounds for that. So back to the question. Are you going to be able to walk into your game store and get this? Yes and no. Did you do a pre-order? If so, maybe. Surging Sparks also taught us that a lot of stores pre-ordered the hell out of this product before even knowing their allocations. So they oversold, and depending on how the store handled things, they oversold, canceled a lot of orders, or they did get the allocations they wanted, put it up for like $600 a case, so $100 a box, and then saw the cases going for 700-ish and more, and we're like, oh crap, we could make more money. You know what? We need to cancel some orders and resell those canceled orders at a much higher price. So that happened too, and that's unfortunate. So there's that saga, and Surging Sparks isn't even out yet. Not even out yet. And what I've noticed from Twilight Masquerade and some other sets is once the initial wave and release comes out, very rarely do you just get booster boxes just sitting in stock in the distributors. The two that I deal with, they very rarely get restocked on booster boxes. And if they do, they end up jacking up the price to whatever they're pretty much being sold third party. So you can't really do it, because then you don't really make money off of them. And so it's really hard to justify buying the booster boxes when the distro pumps up the price. Or they'll have it at a technically good price, but they'll bundle it up with a ton of worthless product that you don't want, and that's hard to sell, and be like, oh cool, yeah, you want a cheap case of this? Well, you're gonna have to do all this too and spend a lot of money. So yeah, booster boxes, once pre-orders are done until there's a reprint, it's really hard to find them. really, really hard to find them. And Surging Sparks, like I said, a lot of orders were canceled. So where does that bring us? Where are we going to get these things? Well, of course, Prismatic Evolutions, Pokemon Center ETB, gone in a day, just super, super gone. And again, like I said, if you can go to a store and pre-order it, as long as your store's cool, legit, then yeah, you're probably going to get what you need. But after release, if you didn't pre-order, probably not. Probably won't see it at a store for a minute. So, can't go to Pokemon Center. And remember, this is a specialty set. You can't go and get booster boxes. And this is a staggered release too. So they're going to have ETBs, booster collections, uh, different collection sets like the binder collection, poster collection, all those different things that you can get. And then finally, eventually over time, you're going to be able to get the booster bundle. I hate that staggered release. It's so annoying. And it's going to be interesting to see if this stuff even comes out on time. Shrouded Fable ETBs were delayed, and now Terrapagos UPCs are delayed. Is this going to get delayed? Who knows? They always are missing some vital part to it, and so that always ends up being a problem. And here's why I think they are gearing more towards stores, right? Because, of course, you can still get them very easily at different stores, like GameStop. GameStop, you can go in there and be like, sweet, gonna pre-order the binder collection, gonna pre-order the text stickers, gonna get an ETB, you know? You can do that, and you'll probably get it just fine. They probably won't cancel your order. Easy enough. Easy enough. And so, again, if you pre-order this stuff, probably gonna get it, especially from GameStop, because like I said, I think Pokemon stocks a store better than that. The downside, you're going to pay straight up MSRP, where an LGS probably wouldn't, as long as, I mean, if they're a nice LGS, you know, and that's kind of where I kind of luck out. I don't have overhead, and so I am able to do it a little bit cheaper. I just got to cover shipping materials and some other stuff, but I'm a one-man army. Don't have to pay other people, don't have to pay rent on a site. So yeah, I can do it a little bit cheaper than most other places, but I don't get the allotments yet. It's not nearly as much as I'd like, and not nearly as much as I could easily sell. So yeah, GameStop, you can get it, but you're gonna pay full price for it. But at least it's secure, right? If you are, a lot of people are going FOMO off of this after this, and yeah, so I guess if you're gonna pay a little bit more for some safety, I get it. And then Best Buy, of course, can get ETBs from there just fine. And then this is where we kind of jump. As I knock my microphone, this is where we kind of get into the opinions of content creators, right? You have someone very knowledgeable that obviously we all know Brian from Pokemon. Very awesome guy. Would be cool to talk to him one day. Super knowledgeable, knows this space better than anybody, knows marketing better than anyone I've ever seen, and knows when to play it safe. I watched a video of his today, and he's like, you know what? I ordered a little bit, got those pre-ordered, but 300 ETBs done in a day, already sold out. Boom, gone. And then everything else is out of stock too. Except he is going to do some pack bundles, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, basically he's like, I don't even know what I'm going to get from distro, so I'm going to play it safe. And you know what? When I was doing my orders for Surging Sparks, I thought I was going to get what I usually can get for most other sets, but I learned very quickly, not going to happen. Depending on the set, depending on the hype. It's not all just readily available, and just because you have distro doesn't mean you're going to get what you want. Because with like Stellar Crown, I got as much as that as I wanted, not a problem. But Surging Sparks, man, did I get limited. And a lot of people are doing their pre-orders right now. I am not going to touch pre-orders until, from what I've learned with Surging Sparks, not going to touch pre-orders until I know exactly what I'm getting, 100%. And we won't even know that for a few months. So you're going to all of a sudden see on my website, you're going to see my pre-orders pop up well after people have already sold their pre-orders. So I guess be on the lookout for that. housegamesandcards.com. I have my own website, but we will be probably putting up our pre-orders well after I know what I'm going to get, and you're going to see that I'm going to be way later than everybody, but at least whatever I put up is going to be guaranteed. I'm not playing that game. Surging Sparks cut it really close, but luckily I ordered some stuff for myself, and I just used that as a buffer, and I gave it out to people. So don't have to worry about that. And then kind of getting back to the Pokemon Center ETB. And I kind of skipped a subject too. You know what? Before we jump into that, I forgot to talk about store releases as well. So no, not only is your order probably going to happen, and you're going to pay more if you're going through a store, the same thing with the store. After release and after your pre-orders are done, on a big hyped up set like this, it's going to be hard to find it in a store. I don't know if you guys remember 151 when it came out, and maybe it was different for other states. But when 151 came out, I remember walking into my LGS, and I'm like, this is my first little thing back into Pokemon. I haven't touched it since 3rd grade back in the 90s. I would like to buy all the Pokemons. I just want to buy it and rip it and have fun. This is before I even thought that I was going to make a business. And they're like, oh, that's cool. We have one booster bundle display. I'm like, that's it? And they had some ETBs, but I didn't really know what an ETB even was during that time. And so I was like, okay, I'll go buy that display. And I went to a different store, bought up a second display, and they only had 2, and that's all they got. That is literally all they got, and they're a full-fledged physical store. And that's literally all they could get. And so you think about it, it's like, okay, so if a fully fledged physical store only got 2 display cases, what's that going to say about this set? Especially since it's so hyped up. People love Eevee. A lot of people were being very judgy about the crowns, the terraforms, but that seems to have subsided because of what this set is. I feel like people really didn't like the crowns, but they love Eevee, and now they're just like, the crowns are fine. Coming around to it now magically. So that's kind of funny. That is kind of funny. So to kind of continue that experience, then when with stores after release and after all the pre-orders are done, and again, at least for my state, comment below what your experience was on the release of 151. But after that, could not find it in a store. The only way you could really find it in a store is if you got lucky, you walked in right as they're stocking it, because as soon as they're done stocking it, it got torn apart and it was all gone. I've never seen a booster bundle in a store. I keep finding the empty displays, but in my state at least, they get bought up so fast. So fast. And so it's just crazy. But then those stores like Walmart's, Best Buys, and Targets and Costco's, they keep on getting exclusive product. They keep on getting product in general, and they keep getting restocked, where most of the stores I knew were like, oh, we're not getting this, we're not getting that. And the only time I've seen booster bundles hit into the distributor to where I could order it was like, oh, hey, you're going to be paying $40 a bundle. It's like, well, that's crappy because they sell for like $45 a bundle. Or I guess right now probably closer to $50. But to the point to where it's not even worth getting. It's way too much, and it's a hard entry point. And same with the ETBs, they'd jack them up, or they'd be like, you need to buy $1,000 worth of crap stuff to get a display case. So never really ordered booster bundles from distro. So yeah, stores would keep getting stock, but it gets bought up so quick. And of course, then it goes through rip and shippers and other things like that. So do I think this is going to be hard overall? Back to the original question. I think no for most pre-orders, unless you get canceled and now suck. But then after that, you have to have good timing with stores, and other than that, you're not gonna really see it. Or sometimes Walmart.com. Sometimes they'll put bundles up on there, but good timing is what you're gonna need. And then after that, I don't think you're really gonna see it too much, unless you pay super high third-party prices. So, some of the opinions from other content creators, like I already said, Brian was like, "Oh yeah, going to be very cautious with pre-orders on this one. Don't want to cancel a whole bunch of stuff." And then Opossum Bud, I love his channel too. Love Brian's channel, but also love Opossum Bud's channel. Super real guy, super real. Doesn't bullshit. I like him. I like his attitude. He tells it. He tells his opinion how it is, and a lot of the time he's not wrong. Especially his comments about FOMO on this set. But I posted a comment. I'm just like, you know what? Without having booster boxes in this set, and just having the collections, the binders, I think I was just talking about how I think it could do some crazy gains, how it could grow pretty quick. In 151, if it was any indicator, that grew quick. PSA 10 Charizard, like $600 to $700 now. It's crazy. He had an interesting opinion. He said that there will be normal product for this for people at or soon after release. This happens every set. And I would agree that most sets, even Twilight Masquerade, I could buy sleeve boosters from distro just fine of Twilight Masquerade. I could get the ETBs just fine of Twilight Masquerade. But one thing that I do know from my experience with distros and everything like that is on a specialty set that is popular, like 151, could not get anything. I couldn't get anything. And I think there's a lot more people buying and investing and other things like that than there ever. I think it's grown more now than it had over the last year than it's ever been. I think a lot of people have kind of learned how hot these sets get and have educated themselves that they're like, hey, I can't wait. If it pops up, I need to grab it. And so I don't think you'll see a lot of normal product. I think, especially with the staggered releases of product, because it's not every version of the product is coming out all at once on release day, staggered throughout the whole year. I don't think you're going to see a ton of it. Like I said, I never walk into a store and just see a whole display case of 151 bundles. There's a few exceptions. And sorry about the coughing. Throat is dry. Do I even have anything? Nope. That was disappointing. So, a few exceptions to that rule. TikTok, obviously, there was a good little insurgence of stock at one point, especially UPCs, for a very short time. But, sorry again, that was terrible. Sorry if you have to hear that. Very small stock, or not, it was a very small window of time where TikTok was trying to lure people onto the platform, and so they handed out tons of tickets. You could get UPCs for like $60. It was a great time. So basically, you would have a lot of UPCs, ETBs, things like that. Go for super cheap because of these TikTok coupons. TikTok was taking the hit for all of them. I don't even know why I'm wearing this because I don't even listen to the audio through that. This is killing my ears at this point. You can get that stuff cheap, and I think a lot of TikTok sellers were like, sweet, I've been hoarding all this stuff. I can throw it up on that platform, make as much as I'm looking to do, but TikTok's going to eat the cost because they're going to make it cheap for me. They're going to eat the cost. And so that stuff that was being hoarded all of a sudden sold quick. Sold super, super quick. And and now you can't find that stuff anyways, and even if it does show up on TikTok, you're not getting a good deal anymore. Then there's one other exception too. Best Buy. Or not Best Buy. Sorry. Costco. Costco had the really cool ETB and tin little get up that they had, where you got 2 tins and the 151 ETB. And then they had the really good UPC deal. But again, after like 1 or 2 days, that was gone. It did not bring the price or market down of these products. It did not dent the market. Basically, people showed up in mass, or at least to my Costco, and they bought all that stuff, and it was gone within a day. Even more recently, last week, they had a mini tin collection pop back up at Costco, and I literally walked in, got like 3 for myself, just because I haven't ripped 151 since it came out. Not going to sell it, just wanted to rip it, and the entire pallet was gone in an hour. Just poof, and again, did not impact pack price at all locally or nationally. So again, scarcity, because I can't just walk into Costco and get it anymore. I can't walk into any of the stores. So no, I don't think after release it's going to be easy to get. I think people are going to crave over this set. And they say in the description that there's going to be 32 secret illustration rares. I don't know if that's true or a typo, but if that's the case, that's a lot of cards to try to master set. That's huge. And now they're throwing in Master Ball variants, and Japanese, you get 1 Master Ball per booster box. What's this going to be? What's the hit rate on a Master Ball reverse holo going to be? Because now we're getting it in English on this set. We have no idea. So to collect every Master Ball, to get every SIR, to get just everything in here, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. It's going to be expensive, and it's going to be hard to find the product to do it. Going to be very hard to find the product to do it. So, like I said, I think Opossum is probably one of the more real and probably actually smarter people on here for sure on YouTube that talks about Pokemon. But I don't think it's going to be as easy to get as he thinks, because I think people have learned as soon as I see it, I need to buy it. Because that's the climate we're in. And like I said last week, with those 151 tins, gone. And it didn't even matter. It was like, it didn't even matter if they existed. It didn't impact anything locally. And I'm pretty sure it's mostly stores that came in to buy them. So, to flip them. I just wanted to rip a few because I love that set. And it's what brought me back into Pokemon in the first place. I think it'd be cool to do a video with Brian one day. I mean, they wouldn't do it with me. I'm a nobody. I'm like teensy. I probably have like 100-ish subscribers, and I don't really matter. But, I mean, dream scenario. It'd be really cool to do a video with Brian and Opossum, because they're both real. They're both real and speak their mind, and don't bullshit about anything. It'd be cool to get their full takes on it, kind of discuss it, because I think over text things just sound so bland, and it's hard to get what the other person's really trying to say. I think it'd be cool to sit down, do a video, and get their takes, but then also be like, well, did you think about this factor? Did you think about that? You've seen how 151 is, you've seen these trends, you've seen how Surging Sparks is, and that's a full-on set, and that's already hard to get. We've seen how Twilight Masquerade was. In Twilight Masquerade, the booster boxes were super hard to get after release. All the other products were fine, but now with Twilight Masquerade, I can't even order sleeve packs, so that's gone. What's that going to do for Prismatic? Where are we going to be for Prismatic? It's so interesting. It is so interesting, and it'll be fun to learn to see what happens. You're not going to see my pre-orders for a long time until I know exactly what I can get. So I'm sorry about that in advance, but that just is what it is. I'm not going to risk it. Back to eBay. Back to eBay. I already forgot to talk about eBay. So Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. Holy crap. people are already selling them, and technically they don't have it in their hands. Pokemon Center could cancel their order at any point in time. 199, 150, 164, 300, because that's two of them, so about 150 each. 4 ETBs for 600 bucks. Oh my goodness. I wonder if people have actually bought these. We need to know. Sold items. 100, 128. Yeah, so people are buying this. Holy crap. People are buying this. Someone on November 2nd said, hey, I got a sealed case from the Pokemon Center for probably like $257, depending on tax and stuff. For $257, I'm going to have someone buy it for $490. I'm going to have $86 in shipping. I only have an 88% like rate. Boom, $490. Wow. Wow, $550? $550. This is madness. This is madness. Hopefully they do a reprint, or not reprint, but a restock and put more up. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will. But that is crazy. That is crazy. The set's not even out yet. And look, if you got a Pokemon Center case, you can always flip it right now and make more money. That blows my mind. So yeah, talking about scarcity and all that stuff. I don't think this will be easy to get. I don't think this is going to be an easy set to get, and I think it's going to be an expensive set to master set. Opossum, Brian, if you want to talk about it and kind of clash minds. Not clash, because it's nothing crazy, but it'd just be fun to get your ideas and bounce back and forth, little rebuttals and stuff like that. Sorry, I have a cough too. I think my daughter brought home the plague from daycare, so I think it's starting to kick in on me now. But yeah, $550. What do you guys think? Comment below. Did you get your Pokemon Center ETBs? Were you able to get those pre-ordered? Let me know. But also, if you want to figure out what this set's going to be like, and for a little bit cheaper and probably easier to get, Terrestrial Festival. We are doing pre-orders on that on our website, HozGamesandCards.com. Check it out, my friends. A good, safe place to get some Japanese Pokemon products. I've vetted my people very well. I've been doing Japanese products and transactions with them for a very long time. They're great. They're wonderful. So definitely check it out. I'm going to throw this one in for Opossum. I hope he sees this. I hope he sees this. So, because he'll rip my ass, and I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I'm not going to open... Well, I can't open one. That's not how this works. We also have our mystery product, guys. I also have our mystery product, but I think ours is kind of more fun. Basically, it's $8 for a randomized purchase. And at worst, you get a booster pack. At best, we got PSA 10 slab in there of Lugia, which is like $400 nowadays. We have other PSA 10 slabs as well. I just need to update some pictures. Twilight Masquerade booster boxes are in there, and those are going through the roof. 151 UPC, which is like $240-$250 now. It's crazy. 151 ETB Shrouded Fable. My wife's not in there. You can't. No, mine. Shiny Treasury EX box. 151 Japanese booster boxes, tins, all kinds of good stuff, guys. There's a lot of stuff in there. Recently added Super Electric Breaker. I'm going to be adding in Surging Sparks booster boxes as well. I just add in fun new stuff as it comes out. So that means whatever we get with our pre-orders for Prismatic, we'll add some of that in there too. Probably some ETBs and whatever we can get our hands on. So I appreciate you guys sticking it out. I really just kind of rambled on for way too long, jumped subjects back and forth all over the place, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Again, let me know your thoughts. If we can get this to Opossum, I'd love to hear him just rip into me about availability and product, and just talk to him about how things kind of went and have been going, and what the distro orders look like too, because I think that's pretty important. Like if I can't get it from distro, and the retail stores are usually wiped out, or like I said, in my state, I walk into a retail store, no matter what it is, and the shelves are cleared. There's nothing ever there. So let me know, guys. I'd like to know. Let's talk about it. I hope you all have a good night. It's like almost 3 a.m. It's time for a nap. But have a good night, guys. See you later. Don't do anything crazy.